Good morning, everyone. This is Mr. Zatola here. Going to do a short video on how to complete Lab 20 Geologic Timeline. So things you're going to need, you can have a digital copy, or I've printed mine out here, of the Lab 20 fill-in sheet for students. You're also going to need pages 8 and 9, Geologic History of New York State, reference tables. And how you're going to work this is you're going to take each event, starting with most recent, going all the way down to the origin of the Earth. It's the oldest. And you're going to fill in what eon, era, period, epoch, and the gap, or on a few of these, the specific MYA, million years ago, date. So I want to start with the very first one. Very simple. The advance and retreat of ice ages. So if you remember and you watched the video on the how to use the geologic history New York State reference tables, page 8 and 9, that I posted, you should go back and watch it if this is new to you. There's a biologics or life on Earth column. And then there's a geologics or rock record evidence and events column. So the advance and retreat of the last ice age is very much a geologic. So we go over here and we look for it. I'm going to zoom in on my camera real quick and see what we can find. So since I've told you that they start from the earliest to the latest, sure enough, I know mine's colored in red, but here it is, advance and retreat of the last ice age. So what you're going to do is follow this all the way across. It's the top little column. Follow, follow, follow until you get over here. And sure enough, here is information you're going to have to put in. So I'm still in the Eon Phanerozoic. Okay. I'm in the era Cenozoic. I was in the period Quaternary because it was way up at the top. And I'm in the epoch Pleistocene here. Right, Holocene, just so you know, is on the line. That's why it's not Holocene. Holocene is right now. The advance and retreat of the last ice age was in the Pleistocene. Now, how do I do the MYA? Well, I'm not worried about an exact. As you see, the Pleistocene was 0.01 to 1.8. So that's what you could put in. 0.01, 1.8. Okay? Let me just zoom out and show you how I got that information one more time. I found out right here, there is my advance and retreat of the last continental ice. I move all the way over to my left. Sorry if it's a little jittery. I've got a bunch of computers laying out on my desk right now. And it brings me over into the Phanerozoic. Remember, the Phanerozoic is everything here, but it expands throughout this whole part right here, okay? We'll do a Precambrian, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so I want to do one more event on here, and I'm going to do a real simple one. I'm going to do the mass extinction of the trilobites. Okay, so that sounds like a biologic, right? Trilobites are organisms. A mass extinction is the death of all those organisms. So I'm not going to go to my geologic. I'm going to go to my life on Earth. And I'm going to find my way down. Now I know where it is. It is right here. And you're going to have to read into these. Some of them have a lot of information. So there is my mass extinction of many land and marine organisms, including trilobites. That's the piece. Notice it is in these little V's. That means it happened exactly at this time. And we know the end of the Paleozoic was because of this mass extinction, right? So how would I do this? Here's my piece right here. Since it's in the Paleozoic right on the line, I'll follow it up, and I am in my Phanerozoic. We're going to call it Paleozoic because it happened at the end of the Paleozoic, so we're going to say Phanerozoic. I'm sure if you're typing it in digitally, it's going to be easier. Paleozoic. Okay. Now, how do we do this? So, because it's on the line right here, it is at the end of the Permian. So we'd call it Permian period, late epoch. And since this one has an exact date, 251 million years ago, we could put that one in exactly. Okay? We can actually look at that exactly. So this is how I have this one. All right? The mass extinction, including trilobites, was Phanerozoic, Paleozoic, Permian, late, and exactly 251. This one doesn't need a range. Just a quick review. When I did the Advanced Retreat of Last Ice Age, Phanerozoic, Cenozoic, Quaternary, Pleistocene, this one had a range. It was somewhere between 0.01 and 1.8 million years ago. Okay. I'm just going to give you a major hint right here, and if you're paying attention, this is going to benefit you. All of the events from 7 down here, so number 7 through number 26, happen in the Phanerozoic. Hint, hint, hint. Phanerozoic. All right? The events that happen down here, 1 through 6, these are the Precambrian. So I'm going to pick one that was actually from your video that you watched on Edpuzzle. So let's do oxygen begins to enter the atmosphere. Okay? So where do I find these events? They are in one of two places. They're either in this area right here, below the thick line, okay? Or they're in this area down here in the gray, okay? The Precambrian ends with a great diversity of life. This is a bloom. This is an expansion of life as opposed to an extinction. But it's a major life event, and that's why we changed into a completely different eon. But that's where you have a few down here. There's like 3. Ends at 542, and then you have a stack of them right here. And if we look there for the oxygen begins to enter the atmosphere, some of you are probably remembering this from the video. There it is. I know it's not the easiest to see, but ocean oxygen begins to enter the atmosphere. How do I get the date of this? I go straight across. Okay, so I know I'm in the Precambrian. So when I look at ocean oxygen entering the atmosphere, I'm in the Precambrian. All right, what is this sub-eon thing? Well, I'm in the Proterozoic sub-eon. From the video I did on the explanation, you have the eon and sub-eon, okay? And my sub-eon is Proterozoic. Okay, hopefully you watched the notes video and that makes sense. And finally, what is my era? Well, it's in the early. So I would say the early Proterozoic Precambrian is how I'd read it. Now, notice there's no epoch to worry about here. Sorry, no epoch to worry about here. How do we get the date? Well, if you go across, it's roughly 2000 MYA or 2 billion years ago. It's just after. Look, it should be pretty straightforward. This is 2 billion MYA. That's 2.5 billion MYA. That's 3 billion MYA. All right? All right. It's 3 billion, sorry, years ago. or 2,000 MYA, 2,500 MYA, 3,000 MYA. You're right here. If you said 2,100 MYA, I'm fine with that. It's such a large period of time, I'd like you to try and guesstimate it. So I'm going to say 2,100 MYA. Okay, let me just review that one real quick. So oxygen begins to enter the atmosphere. I'm in the Precambrian. Notice there's a big divide right there. Everything down here is Precambrian. Everything above it's going to be Phanerozoic. Precambrian, Proterozoic, early 2,100 MYA. Ocean oxygen, early Proterozoic, Precambrian, about 2,100 MYA. So what I need you to do is fill in this whole sheet. 26 events. They're all on here. Please understand that everything is on there. Sometimes not word for word, but definitely something you're going to be able to find. All right. You could do it on Kami digitally and submit it, or you could print and handwrite it. Try and be neat. Take a good picture, send it back to me, or scan it and send it back to me. Okay. That's how you'll complete Lab 20. Everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. Miss you guys. Get in touch with me if I can help in any way, and keep an eye out for my office hours. I do have Zoom and or a Google Meet open if you have any questions. All right, guys, have a great one. Be well.